Hello, and thank you for watching this episode of Behind the Curtain. I'm Gio Battaglia, our first episode of 2026. Hope everyone had a lovely, happy new year. My guest today is Claudia Hoyser, a country singer-songwriter who's carved out a truly independent path in the Americana world. She's known for her smoky sound, viral reach, and hands-on approach to her career, and she's heading into a new era with her upcoming album Before the Dawn, which she says reflects a more raw and personal chapter. Bringing in Claudia now to talk about her project, those Fairport roots. Exciting time to drop a new baby into the world.
It sure is. Thank you so much for having me. Yeah, it's a great time to drop some new music, a whole fresh start just in 2026, and I'm so excited about it.
You've described this album as a turning point. So what did you first realize when you were standing at the edge of a new chapter rather than just another record cycle?
Exactly. I think I've had so much luck with what I've been able to do in music and country music. And I'd started off very singer-songwriter. I had no idea where it was going. And now stepping back and being able to look at, okay, we've opened for some of my favorite artists in the world. I'm getting a chance to write and record with new people and travel all over the place. I had to kind of take a step back and say, you know, what do I really want to do with this next wave? What does it look like for me? Because I was doing a little bit of everything, and I think I always will. But it was really about refining what this musical path looks like for me. And it's been really fun to pick out some of my favorite parts and just kind of move forward with those.
How'd you come up with the title for the album?
Before the Dawn. It's named after one of the songs on the record, and it's the last song. And I think this was the song that surprised me the most. It's one that we sat down and wrote around 2 a.m, and it just kind of came out in one big sweep. And the lyrics all came together. And as I was writing it, I'm thinking, does this even make sense? And then when I looked back over everything, I realized that it made perfect sense. And it was actually about a lot of the things that I had been going through. And it was kind of bringing some of the hard times to light and kind of softening some of the edges that I had been feeling. And I just thought it was the perfect describing song to title the record after.
And you've built your career very publicly online, but this era feels kind of more inward. Would that be kind of appropriate to say?
It does.
What parts of yourself did you stop protecting when you were making this record?
I think early on, I want to make sure everything is great. Everything is good. I'm good all the time. I'm a very happy, bubbly person, and I love to share that side of myself with everyone. But it got to a point where, sometimes this is frustrating. Sometimes this is hard. I have some songs about some real things here and some hardships, and I just wanted to expose that a little bit more and be a little bit more authentic with everyone and how I was doing and feeling at the time. And definitely just that, opening up to everyone and just being super honest with how I was feeling. And I thought that's a pretty relatable way to be. And people have connected with a lot more of my music these days.
And people often talk about your fingerprint voice. When did you stop trying to shape it for the industry and kind of start trusting it as your signature?
Yeah, of course. Early on, I'm like, I want to sound exactly like this. I want to sing just like Miranda Lambert. Or even before it was super country, I was like so into Adele. And I'm like, I do not sound anything like Adele. I never will. And so it really took accepting some of my quirks in my sound and my storytelling ability and trying to bring those out in my own voice. And that just really helped me start to realize that, okay, this quirkiness I have to my sound is what makes it identifiable. And I had been told I had a fingerprint voice. And so where I was trying to change it and sound like everybody else, I realized once I just accepted it and went along with it, that became my identifier. And now I like that it sets me apart.
When you write all these songs and have to decide which ones make the cut, how do you know when a song is honest versus just kind of vulnerable enough to be palatable?
Yeah, I think I try to write everything from a very honest point of view, but sometimes they're not personal stories to myself. It could be like about a friend's situation or something I dreamed up, what if this happened? But I try to put myself in those shoes. Like, how would I actually be seeing this if it were me? So I guess I've never lied during a song, even though I do have a new song on the album called Lie Baby Lie, but you'll hear it. That's definitely true. That's That's a crazy one.
Can you remember a moment where doubting yourself actually led you in the wrong direction?
Hmm. Doubting myself led me in the wrong direction. I could say that I don't know about doubting myself. I guess something that's led me probably to the wrong direction is trying to say yes to it all and just going along with everything because I thought that I could. And then I ended up going through a stage where I was losing my voice all the time, and it got really scary because I realized, hey, without this voice, I don't really know what I have. So it took trusting myself and starting to say no to some of the things that were too much, um, in order to, you know, not go the wrong.
I like that. Burnout is a recurring theme on this record. So, was there a moment when you realized pushing harder just wasn't the answer anymore?
Absolutely. Yes. I was definitely like, we were doing some of the most amazing things and still are. And we had gone with the whole band. We flew to California and opened up for Keith Urban. And I'm like, this is absolutely probably the one of the most amazing things I'll ever do in my life. And I got home and I didn't feel that excited. I knew I was supposed to be excited and I knew that I should be, but I was not connecting with it anymore. It was just, it got to a point where it felt like my everyday job. This is what I do, go out and open for people like either. And then I'd be like, that's crazy because it's so rare. That occurrence is so special. And so that things like that, it took stepping back and realizing, hey, I need to make some changes here to be connected with this because I truly do believe it's what I'm meant to do and what I really want to spend all my time doing. So it feels really good to be back on that same page with myself and feeling genuinely excited and thrilled and over the burnout.
When you look back at that experience through that lens of opening for Keith Urban, what was that like? Take us through that kind of journey.
It's so surreal. Like, you never know what's going to happen when you're opening for one of these majors. You never know if you're going to get to spend time with them or if you're going to like see them during lunch or if they're going to give you some props after the show. But walking out onto that stage and being able to perform for majority of their audience, people who have trusted and respected and loved Keith Urban's music. And getting a chance to perform for them and try to win them over as some new fans. It's amazing. And you don't get put in that position a lot of the time. So it truly is incredible. And that was just one of those times when I realized, wow, we're really, really doing it here. And how can I make this feel the best that it can for me and what I want?
In a industry that rewards constant output, how do you protect your creativity without disappearing?
Ooh, that's tough. It's hard to be creative all the time because it takes being out there doing shows. I'm currently planning all my own touring. And so there's a lot of like business side that goes into it. And so sometimes you just have to step away and be like, you know what, this week I'm going to write. And that's been one of my reasons for kind of getting down to Nashville. I've been splitting some time down there. So it's like I'll take a long week and just go and try to write as much as I can and record something new and just kind of step into that creative mindset again. Because then once you're back, you're on the road, you're doing it, you get a little too busy to just sit around and write beautiful songs. And so it's very important you take the time to stay creative. And that's what I'm hoping 2026 is full of, is some creativity and new art.
Absolutely. What does planning a tour, especially doing it yourself, what does that kind of look like?
Yeah, it's a lot of phone calls and emails. It's like cold calling. And, sometimes you're very lucky. You'll open up your email and you just have some beautiful opportunity. And then you're like, okay, great. Yes, we'll lock that down. And then we'll try to play some more places around the area and try to visit some radio stations nearby and just try to spread the word. Because in these new places, a lot of people don't know who we are.
Mhm.
So, very fortunate for hometown. And Rochester's been an incredible support system. And has definitely helped me realize, maybe we can do this in more places than one if we've had so much love here. But nothing's like home. So,
And you recently just had a show at Record Archive on December 19th. Talk a
mhm.
little bit about coming back home and especially right before the album comes out.
Yeah, just around the holidays, getting everyone together. And, it was 5 o'clock on a Friday right before Christmas. And I just had no idea if people were going to be able to make it for this new music. And they showed up. Record Archive was the perfect place. It was like a beautiful listening room environment. And I really got to tell the stories behind each of these new songs. And everybody came and celebrated and bought a new vinyl record. And we ate cake, and it was just awesome.
How does it feel when it goes from the studio to a stage, these songs that people are hearing for essentially the first time?
Yeah, stage is fun because it's like the first time you get to see if an audience is really going to connect with these songs that I feel very deeply about. And it kind of solidifies, hey, yeah, we have a good one here. I thought, maybe we like this one the most, or it'll surprise you and something you thought people wouldn't gravitate towards. That's when people will come up at the end of the night and be like, you know what? I really like that song. And that feels pretty great too.
For sure. Yeah. Everyone gets a little piece of the pie with attaching to a song that they love. Talk a little bit more about your hometown roots, kind of where you grew up and where it led you after that.
Yeah, I was always singing for as long as I can remember, like at school and in coffee shops. And we started doing some small restaurants in Fairport. And my uncle has always been in the music world. So he taught me my first 4 chords on guitar that I still, I'm very true to those 4 chords because I like them the most. And so it's just amazing to see being able to go from your favorite hometown coffee shop and then try, a coffee shop somewhere else. And then I ended up interning at a music studio that was close to home. And I learned so much there, so much about this music industry, and just kind of took in everything I could, soaked up everything I could, and now try every day to put those things out into the real world. So I couldn't have done it without my hometown.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Going back to that topic of healing and longevity, what does quiet courage mean to you now? And how is that different from the hustle driven bravery you needed kind of earlier in your career?
Yeah, I think quiet courage to me is being able to listen to yourself. And, there's so many things you need to do, and so much advice that people will share with you that, of course, you want to take. You want to take a little bit of everything because there are so many people out there that are so knowledgeable about the music industry and just doing this in general, whether it's touring or booking shows or the recording side of things. But I think the quiet courage is being able to take all of that and internalize it and decide for yourself what would be the best for you rather than trying to take and accept and do everything that everybody else thinks would be best. And it's hard. I've never been
Yes,
a
it is.
confrontational person. I would never want to disappoint anyone. So it took a lot of quiet courage to just kind of say, like, you know what, I think this would be best for me and maybe not that. And that way, you kind of move forward with your best self. And
Yeah.
you don't have to be a country music artist to feel that way. It's just in your everyday life. I think it's important to listen to that little voice in your head that's trying to speak up and say, hey, maybe we need a little break from this, or maybe we need to go get some creativity moving over here, or just listen to those little voices. And I promise, I can tell you from experience, you'll have a much happier time doing what you're doing.
A skill you kind of have to be patient with, but then once you kind of accept it, it'll just go in your everyday life.
Yes, exactly. Yes.
And you've built a massive audience without really a traditional major label machine. What's something independence costs you that people don't really talk about enough?
It's tough. I think time. I think doing it all yourself, it takes a lot of your time. And that's something that I had given up. I've missed friends' weddings and crazy weekends, or, haven't been able to go spend as much time with family as I would have loved to in the past. I keep hitting the table. Sorry.
That's okay.
I'm a hand talker.
Yes, me too.
Yes. And so I think that time is a big one. And also, getting on certain festivals and things like that. They look to the labels for a lot of the artists that they pick for big festivals. So you really have to get in there and make relationships and prove your worth and prove yourself. And it's a lot of extra work, I think, but it's been really rewarding for when you see those things when they do come to fruition and you're like, oh, wow, we were able to do that on our own. So it's been great. And that's been a little bit of a change in mindset too. At first it was very much like, okay, when are we going to get a record deal? And now it's kind of like this new wave of independence is a very cool place to
Yes.
be because you get to pick your own schedule, pick your own dates, pick your own everything. And when you want to get in the studio, you go, and nobody's keeping you on a certain timeline. So I'm really soaking up and embracing that side of things now.
One thing that has stayed consistent and your fans love are Country Mondays. Your series has
Yes.
created kind of routine and ritual for fans. What does it mean to you to have those fans coming back every Monday to hear what you got going on?
Yes, Hoyser Country Monday is amazing. We took a little break from it because we were spending every single week working on these videos, and I needed to start traveling around a little bit more. So Hoyser Country Monday has been a little bit on a pause right now, but it's incredible to know that if I popped in at 6 o'clock on a Monday, Facebook fans will show up. It's absolutely incredible. And they're from all over the world. I have people chiming in saying, "Hey, from Norway, like, great to see you, Merry Christmas." And it's just incredible to have that fan base out there. And it's been fun to try to find them. So we travel around and we have little pockets now in crazy places of the US that I never would have thought. And it's thanks to everybody who's tuned in on Mondays for Hoyser Country Monday.
When you have that viral success, it can feel very fleeting. How do you translate those moments into that lasting relationship with your audience?
Mm. I love to bond with them over coffee. So a lot of our followers online, they're grabbing some Hoyser Country Blend, and I'm signing them and shipping them off to their houses, and they've got a bag of my coffee at home, and they'll chime in and say, "Hey, I'm drinking your coffee this morning, listening to your new song," and that has been a huge connector for us, just to stay on the same page about something. We have something in common. A lot of our followers are coffee lovers, or somebody who will take a moment to, whether it's tea or cocoa or anything, they take a moment to kick back and listen to a new song and take the time to say hello. And I try to write back to as many as I can just to let them know how much I appreciate everybody listening out there.
I love that. Oh, I love that connection, especially more than music. It goes with the coffee and everything that you
Mhm.
have to offer. I love that everyone takes advantage of that.
Yeah.
Talking a little bit more about Before the Dawn, you co-wrote this album with your fiance,
Yes.
Ryan Hurley. How do you navigate creative disagreement when the stakes are both professional and personal? What was that
Hmm.
experience like?
I think I really just win every argument. No. We had never written a song before we worked on this album together. We'd never written a song together. So this was like our first trial at writing. He's always been practicing away, playing, the most intricate, cool guitar parts that he can, always trying to get better. And I had been writing with other people or writing just alone. And it just was kind of like this, it was time. I'm like, what's that guitar part you're playing? What if I tried to write something over that? And slowly but surely we realized that he can write lyrics too. And so it's been great to kind of challenge each other. Like, I'm trying to bring out more songwriting in him, and he's getting me to think more creatively about certain musical aspects underneath the lyrics. And so we haven't had too many disagreements yet, but we're definitely not shy to say, hey, that can be better. Like, that could always be better.
That's
So,
good. That's
yeah.
good that you can have that with each other.
Mhm.
And for you, has working with someone who knows you so deeply changed the way you write about love?
Mm. I think it has helped me write about love. I think I shied away from it a little bit before. It's very, writing about love is scary.
It
It's
is.
like I don't want to be blushing on stage. But people love love songs, and I love love songs, and so being able to write with somebody that I love has really helped get those lyrics out.
Back to your kind of musical roots, you grew up in a very musical family in Fairport, as you mentioned. What is a lesson from those early days that still shows up in your work now, or that you find yourself thinking about during these creative processes?
Mm. A lesson from early days. Just show up 100%. You only get so much time on stage and so much time to be in the room writing, or so much time to spend with your family, whether I'm, making music or just being a person. I think it's just so important to show up 100%. So I try to take in every moment that I can, and just soak it up because, moments are fleeting, and I just want to remember every bit of it.
I love that. And you brought a copy of the album
I
to show us
did,
today.
yes.
Yes, go ahead. We'll take
Got
a
Before
look
the
there. Oh, I
Dawn.
love it. Talk a little bit about the inspiration for the cover and the photo shoot and what that was like.
Yes. So we did this in Nashville. This was the first album I've recorded down in Nashville. And so it was produced by my friend Zarni, who we were writing together. And she was like, let's throw down a quick demo and record it quickly, and it just sounded so amazing. And then that's what really inspired us to start putting these songs down for this album. And I have a photographer in town there who'd reached out to me online and was like, hey, if you're ever around in Nashville here, I'd love to shoot you sometime. And I'm like, let's try it out. And now he's become a great friend. And every time I'm down, we try to take a quick photo shoot. And it's just been fun to find, exactly what I want to show up like artistically and creatively. And I guess I loved that I feel like it really does represent me and the music. It's very, I think it looks pretty down to earth and, Americana and vibey and not over the top with colors and things like that. It's just very organic and real. And I think that Justin did an amazing job capturing that for this album.
And when fans hear it, what do you hope that they recognize in themselves while listening?
Ooh, that's a good one. I hope people recognize that it's okay. It's okay to. I have a lot of themes on here about, putting on a strong face and showing up and, being tough for everybody else. And, whether you're going through some burnout or, going through a breakup, things like that. I just want people to realize, like, it's okay if you're not totally feeling it, and you can take that time for yourself to feel better. And so I hope that they realize that listening to this, somebody else has felt probably the way that they do. And there's always lightness on the other side of the darkness. And
I love that.
yeah, so I hope it helps people kind of find the light.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to take a left turn here, and I want to talk a little bit more about your presence on stage. You opened for Miranda Lambert,
yes.
Which had to have been a full circle moment for you. Mm-hmm. Just talk about it.
Oh my gosh. Miranda has been one of my favorites forever. As soon as I was really getting into country music, I gravitated towards her right away because she's sassy and she's sweet and sassy all at the same time. She can stand there on stage with an acoustic guitar all by herself and play you the most heartbreaking song you've ever heard. And then all of a sudden the fire is going off and she's running around like a total bad chick. And I'm like, I want to be that. So I've always loved her music and really studied her albums. And hopefully she's helped me become a better writer because I listen to every little thing, every little breath. And getting a chance to open for her was truly a dream come true and full circle moment. And she wasn't going to meet anybody that night. She told everybody, I'm out of here as soon as the show is done. It was like her last date on the tour, I think. And so I was like, oh man, I'm not going to get to meet her. That's okay. So I wrote her a note and sent her a little goodie basket to her dressing room.
Aww.
And after we got done opening up the show, her tour manager tapped me on the shoulder and was like, Miranda's not talking to anybody today, but she said she would meet you. And I'm like, okay, she's still my favorite person. So I got to meet her and we were great. We chatted about, clothing and fringe and where she was going on vacation after her tour and just got to be girls for a minute. So
I love that.
I'm just waiting for her to call me back so we can do it again.
Yes. After the holidays, after the Christmas rush. You've spoken about aiming for longevity rather than moments. What does success look like to you in a few years from now?
Yeah.
What are the next few years going to look like?
It's a good question. I just realized this is all I want to do forever. I don't want to be like a flash in the pan that's like, oh, I sing now and then just give it up and do something else. I just hope this is something I can incorporate into my life forever. So, we're building this beautiful audience and this very loyal, real relationship with people and listeners and coffee drinkers and whiskey drinkers. And I just hope that by doing it in a true way, full of love and heart, I just think hopefully this is what I can come back to and always look to my life and do. Like, I don't know, that didn't come out in the smoothest way, but I do. I want it to be a lifelong thing. And hopefully we're building it in the right way to always be able to do that.
And I know that you said a bunch of the touring logistics are still, being worked out. But what kind of experience do you want audiences to walk away with after these shows happen?
Yeah, I just wanted them to feel like they were part of a special night and got to hear some new stories or something that was relatable and something they want to tell their friends about, and hopefully come see us again.
And if this era had a single sentence attached to it, not a headline, but a truth, what would it be?
Oh my gosh, about this new era.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, hold on, let me think about this.
Yeah,
it's like, I got it. The dawn is here.
All right. Oh, I love it. Claudia, I'm so excited for this album. January 9th, Before the Dawn. I mean, just can you believe that it's coming up so soon?
I can't believe it. I'm so excited for these songs to be out on streaming, and I hope everybody goes and listens to it on Spotify and Apple Music. And this is our first time ever doing vinyl, so this was a huge bucket list thing for us. I really was so excited to be able to have like a physical record. And they just sound good.
Yes.
It just sounds amazing. If you have a turntable out there, put it on. Let me know what you think of it. And I'm just so excited to share this with everybody.
So exciting. Claudia, thank you so much for taking the time to talk about the album today. We're very excited.
I can't wait. Thank you so much for having me on.
Thank you for watching this episode of Behind the Curtain. Again, Before the Dawn comes out January 9th. We will have links so that you can stream it, listen to it, all the good stuff over on our website. That is rochesterfirst.com. Again, thank you for watching this episode of Behind the Curtain. We'll see you next week. Take care.
Get the Rochester First streaming app today for everything you love from News 8 On Demand, plus exclusive shows you won't see anywhere else. Search ROC and download for free on Roku, Amazon Fire, and Apple TV.